We're gonna test. I might get the error again. I am concerned. Is my computer officially fucked? Oh boy, fuck. Have I finally kicked the bucket on this thing? Because I might have blown up my fucking graphics card, unironically. This is concerning. Have I officially done it? Oh no, I'm fucking terrified. This is fucking terrifying. We're okay so far. This is really scary. Oh boy. I might need to get my fucking crash logs. I might need to do a classy fucking pull up the crash logs. Pull up the log files or something. I have one from 11:19 at 2:11. That is from me. I'm slightly, I don't know how to read these. It's very hard. I'm trying to look for like error, problem. This is bad. Maybe something like that could inform me upon the failure of my mission. Something that could inform me maybe on if I suck. We're kind of in that range where if a crash is going to happen, it's going to crash around nowish, you would think. You would think. But I'm scared. What have I done? Have I finally blown the casket? Is it all over? Is the Sheepo 3 stream officially done? Is it over? Is it screwed? I'm scared. I'm how to reinstall graphics drivers. That scares me. This fucking scares me. Reinstall graphics drivers is terrifying. I do not like fucking with my drivers ever. I never like that. It is terrifying. I mean, we're fine so far. Now that is the sentence of a man who is unconfident and unsure in himself. I did. Okay. I'm just gonna save this. We're gonna exit out. Save and exit. We're good over there. Okay. We're just gonna leave that as it is. Let the sleeping dog lie. It's not gonna bark if it's not awake. It's not gonna bite you. Okay. That's what I think. So far, nothing has blown up on me. If I try to load Minecraft, will it be mad at me if I were to do this? If I were to load Minecraft, let's just say I pulled up the launcher. I'm pulling up the launcher. What if I just did that? Would you be mad? Would you be angry if I did that? Would you be furious if I did that? No, apparently not. What if I pulled up the task manager? That's a good program. Shout out to the task manager. Let's pull up the task manager. Okay. He doesn't seem too angry at me. Maybe if I pulled up my, what's it called? Maybe if I just loaded in Minecraft. What if we just load it in? Okay, hold on. Let me, what if I just pulled up my file manager? What if we did that? What if we changed out some mods while we were at it? I mean, like really kind of pushing our limits here, but what if we did it? What if we did it? Would you be furious? No? See, I'm confused why you're not mad at me. I feel like I've been good all the other times, and yet now is the time that you decided to be mad at me. And for what? And for what? For what purpose? I misunderstand. Look, Mr. OBS, I really do like your intentions, and I really like using your program, but right now you're kind of fucking me, and I don't know why you're fucking me. Was there a particular reason you're fucking me? If I were to play music, would you be angry? I'm loading Minecraft and playing music at the same time. It's a hot combo right now. Would you be mad about that? I feel like everything is going so well, and I'm so scared. Is this like a one-time thing? OBS just decides to fuck me one time, and it's like, oh no, yeah, no, you're fine. I just wanted to mess with you. He tickled me once, and then he never came back. Like, why you gotta tickle me, man? I feel like everything's okay. Fine. I mean, if we're gonna do this, why were you so mad at me? I'm so confused. Can I actually talk about my life now without interruption? Am I speaking too loudly? I feel like I'm speaking too loudly. I don't know. I'm scared. Okay. Are we okay now? I believe so. I think we're okay. Let's play some ice boat racing. Just a nice, peaceful game of ice boat racing. Nothing could hurt you when ice boat racing. You cannot be hurt while ice boat racing. Well, maybe my controls can. I should really get back to playing on 90 FOV. Playing on 100 FOV is not good for your health. I've decided. I've made an executive decision. This shit is ass. Reload shaders. Okay. I think we're okay. Yeah, see? Look at this. We're fine. It's like there was no problem. Okay. Let me do some stream stuff. Let me actually like treat this like an actual stream here. Minecraft. Brilliant, smart, truly blessed individual. Make an announcement on the old Discord. Man. The weird goings on of the Sheepo through streams cannot be understated. What is this? Oh, Aqueduct. Cringe. What is this? Mount Akin backroom? Mount Akina backrooms? Oh, shit. Ah! Okay. I didn't realize it was actually going to be a hard track. This is very tech. This is like ice boat tech. Jay is Juke. Why are you here? Jay is Juke. Of all the people to arrive at the Sheepo 3 stream, I would have put no money on Jay as Juke. I would be a broke motherfucker right now. FanDuels would have robbed me for everything I am if I would have bet on Jay as Juke. nonetheless, good to have you. Yeah, so I was actually going to talk about, before I was so rudely interrupted by my OBS deciding to break all of a sudden. What the hell? Yeah, so I was going to talk about my brilliant plan to export the video that I can't export. So I didn't stream on Sunday, and there's a reason behind that. I didn't just randomly decide. I was like, oh, I don't want to stream anymore. It wasn't like that, and I didn't say it like that either. What happened is that I wanted to do a little editing stream because I wanted to work on some editing. The problem is that my computer fucking hates me and blew up the moment I tried to load my editing software while I was trying to stream. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. That's okay. You're a pretty old computer and I need to work on this project, so I'm going to quit stream so I can finish this project. And I did. I finished the project. Well, finished is a strong word because finished implied that you have a finished product. I currently do not. Why is that, you may ask? You said you finished it. Well, I finished all the editing that I wanted to do on it. I need to turn down my music volume, by the way. It is so fucking loud. You know what? We're just going to do this. We're just going to raw dog it for the time being. Raw dog streaming. Only my voice. We don't need no music. So like I was saying, finish implies that I finished all my edits and I have a finished product. I do not have a finished product. Why is that? Well, I tried to export my video. A crucial part to making a video is also exporting it. You need to make sure that your video editing software can actually like get the video out into the world, right? The people need to see it. You can't just show people your video editor and say, look at this cool video that I made. People aren't going to watch that shit. All right. So I tried to export it and I'm like, okay, you know, I used a couple of, you know, maybe a little bit more intensive, you know, operations. I used a couple of effects that were maybe a little bit high end. That's okay. It'll take a little bit, maybe like an hour or so. It did not take an hour or so. As I saw my video exporting, I calculated it out that about every 25 seconds in real time, I would have 1 second of my video exported. So 25 seconds to 1 second of video time. I have 5 hours of video. So as you can tell, there's only one solution. There's only one feasible explanation to this, and that's my computer has unionized, okay? My computer is done with my bullshit. It has said, I'm tired of having to do this bullshit. I'm not going to export your stupid projects. I'm not going to put myself through this wear and tear. I'm done. And so it's unionized. I don't know what the purpose for that was. But like I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by scary cave noises. So basically my computer doesn't want to export the project because it would take for fucking ever. I calculated out it would be about 5 days plus some. So like 5.5 days of export time to make it happen. I know. So my computer doesn't like me, which is fine. That's okay. I don't need it to like me. I need it to work. So what do you do when you're faced with a imminent revolt? Okay, my computer is unionized. It's demanding rights. Well, clearly, you hire another computer. I have another computer off to the side of me, right over there. My second laptop. That's my old laptop. That's a laptop that's kind of been through, you know, it's been through the struggle. I'm putting it back to work. I'm saying, old man, get your ass off of your feet. I need this video exported. So I've transferred all my video files, everything over to the other computer. After this stream is done, I'm going to start it exporting. And I'm just going to keep it there. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to fix my mistakes. I'm not going to become a better person. I'm going to make it do the things that this computer can't. All right? And it's going to sit there and it's going to export my goddamn video. And I don't care if it takes a week. I don't care if it takes a month. I don't care if it takes a goddamn year. It will stay there and it will fucking export that bitch. And so that is the current solution. So basically, I will be without computer number 2 for the next week or so, theoretically, as if nothing goes wrong. This is, of course, if nothing goes wrong, which it most definitely will. Oh boy, things would be going wrong. I just can't wait to see what kind of fuck-ups I'm going to run into in this little adventure that I'm going on here. So yes, that is the Is it going to play scary noise again? I don't really like it when it does that. I don't like this map. I don't like this scary noise map. So yes, there it is. Oh, this map. Oh my god, I'm so goddamn awful at this track. It's actually unbelievable. Mostly because my game can't render in enough chunks to load this to load this map fast enough for me to play it. This is why I can't play Blue Eyes, if you're wondering. So yeah, there you go. That's the Sheepo 3 story of the day. My other computer is about to be punished for no fault of its own, really. It's about to be hurt. And you know what? That's fine by me. It has to be done. It's simply a unfortunate, reality of the situation we find ourselves in. Nothing can be helped. What a bummer. What the fuck? Is this? Okay. Maybe if using the glass is the best idea? Amazing. A 1,000 place improvement. Man, I wish I was good at boat racing. It'd be so nice if I was actually good at something. Oh, this track. This track is fun. I know I've played this server too much when I'm starting to recognize tracks that come up. This has got to be a good time. Coming out of this section? That's not a great start. Oh, what the fuck is happening? Okay. Well, unfortunately, the back half wasn't too hot. Okay, so basically what's going on? There's going to be an event, not this weekend, but next weekend? What is this weekend? Okay, it's not this weekend, it's next weekend. There's going to be a little event. It's going to be bad. It's going to be shit, but it's going to be fun. Have I tried what in Who's It Wants It? Hay slaying? Hay slaying? Game? My game decided to freeze on me. That's kind of concerning. I can't say I have tried this particular thing, or track, or ability, or thing. I'm sure it's very cool though. Mr. Jace Juke. It's a track. / teleport? / track? / TP / fuck. I can't, no, I don't know how to find it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know servers do a very bad job of communicating the necessary commands to the player. Friendly Foe 1, this looks like a nice friendly track. I couldn't be harmed while playing this track. Oh, I am harmed. Oh, I've been harmed. Accursed concrete in inconvenient spots. Why is your chicane so large? Please inform me upon your large chicane. That's what they're called, right? I don't really watch F1 that much. I used to. I used to watch F1. But then I realized that shit was ass. And then I quit. I realized that the sport fucking sucks. And also, it's not like an awful time for me. I don't want to watch it at that particular moment either. So yes. /TTK. Hold on, let me get a time on this track. This track has not treated me badly yet, and I would feel bad to leave it without giving it a time. Right? There's probably a more crass way I could describe it, but I'm not going to. I actually had a big topic I wanted to complain about, and it was women. No, actually. It's a joke. But I did want to talk about, like, gender relations, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's been very interesting. Shit I've seen on TikTok has made me think about this, and I wanted to discuss it. I think it's an interesting topic, especially right now. The current state of world, or maybe specifically United States. In current state of United States, I think it's interesting to discuss the relationships between the genders. Unfortunately, no offense, but trans people are generally excluded from this conversation. Not because they're not real or anything, but generally the problem with trans people is that they are so, like, they're such a tiny percentage of the population that on, like, these broader conversations about why the fuck is my game doing this to me? On broader conversations about this, it really doesn't, like, it's not something that is ultimately that important because so little people are affected, I think. Also, it's just a lot easier if you just treat trans women as just like, oh, you're a woman. Ah, trans woman? You're just a woman. It's a lot easier there. Your conversation gets a lot easier. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, this is the track. I've played this track. This is the track from the one server. This is the track from that one server. What's it called? It's the track from that one server. The decathlon server. I've played on this track. Yeah, I like this track. This track was good. Did somebody submit it or did you just steal it? Like, because I was under the impression that you built this track. Did you, like, submit it to this server or something? Or maybe not you, but somebody built this. Somebody involved with the decathlon built this. Oh my god. Yeah, this track was cool. Man, I feel so much better. I remember playing this track when I was much shittier at iceboat racing. It's crazy how much better I feel. Like, how much better this track feels now that I'm, like, maybe not good, but at least competent. I submitted it. Yeah, it's a good track. I like this track. Except for this part. This part always fucked me. But yeah, oh wow, I'm so glad it got submitted. I'm so happy for you. It's a good track. It's also a lot easier. I'm so glad I have a good way to practice this track now. In case I ever play it in a decathlon format. Also, it's a lot better to race on the server than it is to race on Hypixel, so. Not saying that racing here is much better, because the moment you tap somebody's behind, you get immediately slowed to a complete crawl. See that? I have not reacted to it yet. I have not, unfortunately. I was kind of preoccupied by other things at this particular moment. Derpnap. I hope you can understand. Look, JS Juke, I'm not bad at iceboat racing. Not amazing, perchance, but certainly not as awful. Well, as awful is a strong word. I'm not as awful as I used to be. What? Wait, no! My time got fucking denied? Oh, I got 22. I'm number 22. Insane. Insane. Okay. So what I actually wanted to talk about was how much I hate women. Which is the joke that everybody's going to make, because I'm going to start talking about gender relationships. And everybody's going to be like, oh, well, she hates women. All right, everybody. Get it out of your system now so we can have a serious conversation later. No, I think it's actually really interesting. Not in a good way, unfortunately. It's interesting in a bad way. Life is not good right now for multiple reasons. First of all, we're most certainly going into a recession shortly. That's going to happen. That's not a question. It's more of an inevitability. We're going into a recession. It's already hit, I think, in a lot of ways. I think the job market has been shit. A lot thanks to the emergence of AI, but also a lot due to the way that the job market is kind of working right now. Also, it's just, I think that eventually, like I don't know how much Donald Trump can inflate this bitch. And I don't know how much the Fed is going to allow people to inflate. I don't know how much the Fed is going to allow Trump to inflate this bitch. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see. Because it feels like the economy has been teetering on the edge. And I feel like I would rather us just like be in a recession and just like vibe there for a couple of years and then come out of it than like this constantly teetering on the edge of, are we doing a recession? Are we not doing a recession? What's going on, guys? I'd rather we just make a decision and run with it. I can deal with a recession. I can vibe with that. I won't be happy, but I can deal with it. I just want to know, right? The indecisiveness is killing me because as the longer we're indecisive, the worse the recession is going to be. Okay. So like I was saying, this has created a very interesting climate, and a climate I think that has been kind of festering for a very long time of roughly women and men not being on the same page when it comes to shit. I don't know how to describe this. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I feel like women and men are hating each other more and more for a lot of different reasons, but it feels like a lot of reasons are because men and women are on totally different pages on how the others should interact towards them, right? And I feel like a lot of this has been kind of brought to the forefront because of the election of Donald Trump. I said it wasn't going to be about Trump, but here we are. I think the problem with the election of Donald Trump is it's kind of exposed like this very, very strong divide where it was like before, like when Hillary Clinton got like defeated by Donald Trump, it was like, oh, well, Hillary Clinton wasn't that good anyway. All right. Nobody really liked Hillary Clinton. So like we could ultimately kind of pass it off as like, hey, it's just Hillary. OK, nobody wanted to vote for her anyway. All right. But now we've had Kamala. And Kamala, while not being the most likable of candidates, while not being the most personable of candidates, she was not unqualified. She didn't really have that much drama behind her. She was kind of a very steadfast, solid candidate. She was a solid candidate for president. And yet Kamala was still defeated. Not just defeated, handily defeated. Fucking obliterated, okay? It wasn't even close. And I think what the problem with that is that it started to expose a lot of feelings that both genders failed to each other because the vote was very divided on terms of gender. A lot of guys voted for Trump and a lot of girls voted for Kamala. And people are not happy about that, especially women. Especially women. Back to Ronald Reagan, that's true. But I don't think Ronald Reagan is the reason why men and women hate each other. I haven't done enough research on Ronald Reagan to know that, but I don't think Ronald Reagan is. I can't blame Ronald Reagan right now, unfortunately. So Donald Trump is not a cause. It's more Donald Trump is more of a symptom of basically the first problem is I feel like a lot of men feel kind of bad about their lives. A lot of men fucking hate their lives. A lot of men are really fucking depressed about just kind of everything right now. I think they're angry about the economy. They're angry about the job search. A lot of young men, especially, are like this, and they're angry about women. And I think that it's kind of exposed I don't know how to describe this. A very kind of, I don't know if it's worrying or kind of, I'll just say interesting. A very interesting trend of it feels like men are angry at women because they're not getting enough female attention, right? A lot of men are feeling kind of left out. They feel like they aren't getting enough female attention, and it's starting to cause them to become to be very angry at society, which sounds bad. It sounds bad. It's like, oh, all these men are whiny bitches. You know, that is what it sounds like, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, not the reason why men are like this is not all because they're whiny bitches. some of it is definitely a whiny bitchness. There's certainly an entitlement in this anger that men are feeling. But a lot of it is kind of justified because of the way that women have been reacting to certain trends. And I'm trying very hard not to blame anybody in this particular instance, because if you blame men, then they just get angry. And if you blame women, well, it's not really their fault. So it's definitely more men's fault, but it's more complicated than that, unfortunately. I wish I could just say this is the problem, but it's not like that. So I think, sorry, I'm discussing my takes on gender relationships, you know, a topic that I am certainly qualified to discuss. No, I've just been thinking about it a lot. I'm trying to express my thoughts on stream in kind of in a better way, so I can maybe get some feedback on it from, you know, a bunch of losers. I don't want to call you guys losers, but, you know, bunch of socially awkward nobodies. I just want to, lesbians, there is no discussion. That's fair, but I think a lot of women hate men and a lot of men hate women. And not like as in like, oh, it's a joke. It's not a joke anymore. I think it used to be like a kind of like a funny meme. It's like, oh, men are so horrible, or women, oh, women suck. I don't think it's a joke anymore. I think that there is like legitimate animosity between the genders in like a very serious way, a very serious problematic way that's going to fuck us up for a very long time if something isn't done about this. And no, Donald Trump is not the cause of it. Donald Trump is a symptom. He simply is a shock factor, okay? He didn't cause this, but he certainly exacerbated it. It's been like this forever. I think it's more serious now. I don't know if this is just me being social media brained, but I feel like I've been seeing way more like very legitimate posts about like how terrible men are or how awful women are. I feel like there's been a lot, like, especially like ever since like the Andrew Tate stuff. Like, I feel like it's been going up because like once Andrew Tate, that whole thing, and then that whole like women hating thing started with this whole like red pill Aiden Ross shit. Like the moment the red pill got popular, I think the red pill started to expose it. And then I think it started to flip the other direction where women are starting to really fucking hate men. And I think that's because there is like, I think men and women don't understand each other in a really like bad way, but you get, yeah, no, exactly. No, I get fire was small. Not that the fire was small in the first place. Yeah, definitely. Trump kind of, it wasn't like Trump didn't start the fire, but he is certainly throwing oil on it. So the problem is that I feel like women struggle. Here's like a general statement I'm going to make about how I feel about this. It feels like women struggle to get meaningful male attention and men struggle to get female attention. And both groups want that, right? Women want meaningful male attention. Male attention that's not predicated on their body or their looks or what sex, basically sexual. They want actual meaningful, you know, relationships with men that aren't predicated on sex, right? And men want female attention. They just want to be looked at by women. And I think that both groups don't really understand that. Men don't understand that women need like more, like men don't understand that women need more emotional bonding. They require more, you know, deep kind of, they require more deep emotional time, and women don't understand that men are just struggling to talk to women. And not in like, it's like, I'm scared of talking to women. As in like, it is hard for men to get any kind of female attention because women do not want to talk to men. And I think what's the problem with that is that it's making a lot of men feel very, very bitter. And a lot of it is their fault because a lot of them are fucking bums. And the reason, and so what happens is that when men get fed up with women, they become incels and they become nice guys and they become kind of the scum of society, right? And when you have enough people like that are kind of scum, that are doing these scummy things, that treat women like shit, that act like shit and, you know, do all these horrible things like, you know, rape or sexual assault and all those things, what happens is that eventually women get fucking tired of that shit. They're like, I'm not going to deal with that anymore. And they're not interested in trying to differentiate between like, oh, this is a good guy and this is a bad guy. It doesn't matter to them. At some point, it's a lot easier to just say all men are bad and completely ignore all men. Because why the fuck would I? Why the fuck would I try to put up with trying to like play this guessing game of, is this guy gonna like, wreck my life and cause me a whole bunch of emotional trauma? And so what's happening is that the guys that are actually good guys who just want to have nice relationships with women, who just want to, talk to people and I don't know, have female relationships, are getting screwed because of all these guys that are assholes. And so what's happening is that now we have a bunch of men, a bunch of nice guys, or I say nice guys unironically, but a bunch of men that are not assholes who are trying to exist in this world, who are getting fucked because women don't want to deal with it anymore. And the problem is, it's not women's fault. It's not. Because if I was a woman, I would probably be feeling close to the same way about the current situation. It feels like a lot of men are fucking assholes and they're screwing you for no fucking reason. Yes, exactly. That's the fucking problem, right? It's like, it's shit like that where guys are just like, they're horny all the time. And back in the day, that wasn't a problem. A lot of it because women just had less say in these things, right? Like women were just kind of less socially, had less power socially. A lot of that was because they couldn't get okay. So here's an interesting like article I read, or like a summarization of an interesting article I read about gender dynamics. Basically, the interesting that's changing is that women have been raising their standards about who they interact with, which is generally a good thing, but men are being slow to catch up. Because back in the day, back in like the fucking 1700s, all a man had to do to be a valid partner is to have a job and to make money. That was the only thing you had to do. You didn't have to be a good guy. You didn't have to be nice. As long as you could put food on the table, that was enough, because women could not do that. As we've industrialized and as we've gotten away from kind of the ancient practices of saying women aren't allowed to participate in society, now that women are allowed to actively participate in society, we're seeing a lot of things. We're seeing more women in school. We're seeing more women in jobs. We're seeing more women in high-paying jobs, and we're seeing more women that can actively fend for themselves and live their lives. They don't need no man, physically, ironically and unironically, right? And that's causing women to say, I don't need a shitty guy that can only put food on the table. I want more from men. Women want more from men now. And the problem is that men have been very slow to catch up. The men who have caught up aren't doing okay either, because of the problem I talked about earlier. You have a bunch of men who haven't caught up, who are still living in the fucking 1700s, who are still assholes, who are still dicks, and they're fucking it up for all the rest of the guys, right? And so we have this very awkward situation where it feels like both parties are not like engaging with each other on equal terms, right? It feels like both parties are getting fucked by each other. Women aren't getting what they want from men, and men aren't getting what they want from women, and it's causing real animosity. And I don't know what happens, right? I was in the amount of unwanted. I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like, this is not a I'm blaming women, like, group therapy session. This isn't a sheep gets no bitches, so he fucking hates women. This is not the sheep hates no bitches therapy session. We can do that later. That's fine. I'm cool with doing that. But right now, I'm actually trying to have like a serious talk about like real issues, because I think it's interesting. Because I think it's interesting, and it's also kind of worrying about the future of where we're going to be at as a society. You're cool talking about you're cool with that. Well, no, I don't want to do the sheepo. Like, I don't want to like go into like a fucking incel arc or something. That's like a great fear of mine, that eventually I'm going to become so fucking lonely that I just become an incel. I don't want that. And I worry that like if I do these sessions, some people are going to get like the wrong idea. I just want to have like a general discussion about like, hey, I think these are interesting things that we should talk about, not like Sheepo3's belly aching because he can't get pussy, right? I think there's a very stark difference between those two things. I can speak from my personal experiences about how I feel the gender gap has kind of grown or shrank, or the differences between men and women from my perspective. God damn it, I was going so fast. I was doing so well. What a good run, and I fucked it all up. God damn. I don't want to, yeah, but I just don't want to turn it into like a Sheepo 3 cries session. I'm trying to think of, like, I had other shit I wanted to talk about, because I was thinking about this during my break, which is a crazy time to think about this, by the way. I'm on break from my job, and I was thinking about women, which is, well, women and men equally, but, you know, still. The facts still remain. I think, personally, a lot of the reasons why I don't want to... I kind of get worried about talking to women. which is kind of funny, because I'm actually really good at talking to women. No, like, if it's just like a fucking coworker, I don't really care, right? I don't care that you're a woman. It's not gonna make a difference, right? I think that when it comes romantically to women, I get worried because I don't want to be part of the problem. Basically, I don't, because I know that a lot of women just like have a bunch of fucking guys just ask them out for no fucking reason. It's really annoying to them. And so I get worried about asking out some women randomly, because I'm like, I like you, but I don't know how you feel about me. And I'm worried that if you feel some way about me, that if you don't fuck with me, if you're just friends, then it's going to be awkward. And then when it's awkward, I'm the fucking guy. I'm like just the next guy, like all these guys that I can't actually have a real friendship with a guy, right? What if she just wants to be friends? And after I ask her out, we can't just be friends. That's just not how it's going to work, unfortunately. That's not how life works. And then she's going to be like, oh my God, he's just a little horny fucking douchebag. And so it's like, at this point, I'm just like, you know what? It's just better just don't engage. I just don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to stay away. I'm not going to be an asshole. I just want to be nice. That's why lesbians are better. Well, I don't have that option, okay? MEGD, that's nice for you. I'm glad. I'm glad that you like pussy just as much as I do. Okay, I'm glad that that's great. That's great for you. But unfortunately, exactly. I can be chill, but women don't know that, and women can't take that chance. That's the problem. The problem is I can be like, if I ask out somebody and they say no, like no dice, I can be like, all right, life goes on. But they don't know that. Women can't take that fucking chance because of the physical differences between men and women. Because what happens if I'm a creep? And what happens if I try to fucking stalk her in a dark alley? She can't do nothing about that. I'm stronger than her. I beat her up every time. The physical differences between men and women necessitate that women have to be more careful around men, because men can beat the shit out of them. Okay? Believe it or not, Sheeple 3 does not want to beat the shit out of every average woman. That's not the goal. The goal is not to beat the shit out of women. The goal is to make sure that women don't feel like I want to beat the shit out of them, but women don't know that. And so they have to play it safe. Okay? That's what it all comes down to. Men have to be more conscientious of the physical differences and what they're doing. And yeah. So basically, I'm getting screwed by all the mean guys. All these meanies who say women should go back to the kitchen are fucking it up for everybody, okay? A bunch of creepy guys are fucking it up for everybody. Thanks, Andrew Tate. Really appreciate that one. This also leads to a generation of men who feel dissociative. And they feel like they're not part of society, and they hate society. And so they're going to do radical shit like vote for Trump, because they think that they think he can make the difference. They think that he can change something. Donald Trump is going to fix the problem somehow. Because they're tired. They're tired of the economy. They're tired of the way women are treating them. They're tired of the way everything is happening. And so they end up voting for crazy people like Trump because they think it'll make a difference. And that's the reason there was the gender divide during the election. There's why so many men voted for Trump. Because it also doesn't help that it feels like a lot of the online left has been kind of demonizing men for a very long time. That certainly doesn't help. If we can talk about that for a little bit, if I can run defense for men for a little bit, it feels like for a very long time, like these casual, like, we hate all men jokes have not become very casual. and they become very serious. Like men, like it's not just we hate all men or like oh men are bad. It's that all men are bad. Not men, all men. Every single man is a bad thing. If it has a penis, it fucking is a miserable creature, right? And when that kind of attitude becomes pervasive, it scares a lot of men off, right? He was way better than Kamala. He was absolutely not in any... Name a single area where Trump was better than Kamala in. I will fucking... Please, name a single area. Pro skills. I guarantee you're saying this because you're too young to vote. All right, and that's fine. That's okay. You don't know anything about politics. I know stuff about politics. I'm about to flex my degree. Flip on... What? Had to hide... No. Lied? Lied? Oh, you want to talk... Oh, boy. Pro skills, you've lost the plot, my brother. Trump never lied. Now a cop? You're not a cop. You are not a cop. And if you did your research, you know that Trump has lied way more than Kamala has ever. That's unfortunate. Yeah, no, Trump never lied. Actually, believe it or not. When Trump said he was going to build that wall and he didn't. Yeah, you're not. You're not, kiddo. All right, that's fine. That's okay. Kids do it all the time. That's fine. Kids lie to make themselves feel better, to feel like they're bigger. I used to do it as a kid. I used to lie to people. That's okay. But you're not going to win this one because Trump is objectively an asshole. He tried to steal our democracy. Not steal our democracy. He tried to destroy our democracy actively by stealing the election. He did. He did do this. You can look it up. You can read about it. He got nothing done as the president. The only thing he got done was tax cuts. He had a fully Republican Congress for at least 2 years, and he did nothing with it. He couldn't pass anything. He fucked up a lot of our foreign policy by being all buddy-buddy with Russia, by being all buddy-buddy with North Korea, acting like he was a big guy when he was being taken advantage of by leaders who were way smarter than him because he's a dumbass and he needs to flatter his ego. He didn't give a single prescriptive policy position in his entire campaign, a single effective prescriptive policy position that wasn't a slogan. Drill, drill, drill is not a policy position, by the way. That is a statement to swing dumbasses on your side. That's not actual policy. I'm not going to say Kamala was perfect. I'm not going to say I love everything about Kamala, but to vote somebody who is a actual criminal, who's been indicted for crimes, not like fake crimes, not like the fake crimes you make up in your head that Kamala did against you, the real crimes that were prosecuted by a judge and a court. The fact that you would elect that guy over a woman that you don't really like that much is insane. And it means that you don't know anything. You don't know anything about democracy. You don't know anything about this country. You don't know anything, and you haven't done any research, and you don't care to do any research because you are already bought it. You already like Trump, and you already hate Kamala, and nothing's going to change it. Nothing I say will ever change your mind because you're already bought it. Your mind is already fucked. You're brain rotted. You're done. Game is over. He wants to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. He's not going to do it. What do you think fucking Kamala wants to do? You think he's just like, yeah, more war? You dumbass? Are you fucking stupid? He wants to stop wasteful spending. How? Explain how he's gonna do it. Holy shit, I don't like Kamala, but at least she had a fucking policy. At least she said something. Hey, we're gonna give home buyers credit. Hey, we're gonna help out poor people to buy more homes. At least she said things that she was gonna do. What the fuck was the border policy? Whoa, what the fuck was the border bill? The border bill that Kamala championed? The border bill that was going to help the fucking border crisis by getting more judges to the border? Oh, was that just not a thing that Donald Trump shut down, by the way? The bill that was going to help the border that Donald Trump shut down because his big fucking ego couldn't handle it? Trump was not a better candidate. There is absolutely zero way that Trump was a better candidate. You're an idiot. Was it originally against? Yeah, because the wall's a stupid idea. Because the wall is dumb. That's not how you fix the border crisis. By building a wall will not change anything. It shows that you know nothing about the border. I took a class. I studied the border for a year. I understand this shit. You have no idea what you're talking about. You just don't because you haven't done any research. You are spewing out talking points. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You haven't done a single bit of research, and that's frustrating to me because you talk and you go around like you act like you know something, but you don't. You know nothing. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you're fucking up our country because you're so fucking stupid. It pisses me off because I care. I love America. I love this fucking country. I love it so fucking much. And I have people like you who will elect criminals to fucking office so that they can do nothing for 4 years and sink our country further into the fucking recession. billion railway project? Holy shit, at least she passed something. And oh yeah, the infrastructure bill? The infrastructure bill that was universally loved by Democrats and Republicans? Oh, that one? Yeah, that one that was passed under Biden, objectively one of the most successful presidents in the last 20 years? Because he actually got stuff done? Because he worked bipartisanly with both parties? Because he got bills passed? Because he actually did something, unlike Trump, who didn't get a single thing passed without an executive order? And then you people love him for it. Oh my God, it's crazy. They will celebrate Donald Trump for passing all these executive orders. And they'll celebrate him for it. They're saying, good job, Trump, you did such a good job. No, you didn't. You think executive orders are stable? You think they're powerful? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you've lost... Joe, I get... Yeah, that last part is a joke, but this... Like, I don't know if you're just rage baiting here. Hey, you're rage baiting. So you've rage baited me. I've been... No, Donald Trump didn't promise anything. Kamala promised shit. Donald Trump didn't promise anything. He lied to you. And you got fooled. Or somebody got fooled. Oh, sorry, that's Eggnub. Sorry. You both have purple names. I was getting mad at Eggnub for no reason. Yeah, no, Pro Skills is... I think he's rage baiting. No. I think... Sorry, Emmy God. I'm sorry. I must be getting rage baited by this guy. There's no other way. It's the only possible explanation. Somebody so stupid cannot be real. Or, sorry, they are real, and I just don't want them in my chat. Fuck. I'm so mad now. Somebody is so stupid in my chat. Like, I'm trying to have an actual discussion about things, and then I have some idiot who voted for Trump in my chat. I'm sorry. You're just dumb. You're stupid. You've lost the plot. If you voted for Trump in 2016, I can understand that. I can sympathize with you if you voted for Trump in 2016. He was still an asshole then. He wasn't a very good candidate then, but at least it was understandable. Donald Trump has done objectively nothing for you to increase the quality of your life, and yet you still vote for him. Why? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. Donald Trump has done nothing for your life for 2 years, and yet you have fucking bought yourself into this myth that somehow Joe Biden is the reason for all your problems. It was Joe Biden's fault. It wasn't Donald Trump's fault for mishandling the fucking COVID pandemic so horribly, and it wasn't Biden's fault that he had to fix Donald Trump's fucking falling apart, failing regime. It's not, oh, it's Biden's fault. Biden didn't do anything for me because he had to fix all the shit that Donald Trump did. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Waste tax? No, you're just, yeah, you're saying slogans. Okay, you're not actually interested in talking. You're not, I want you to bring a single substantive point and I want you to stick on it. Not bring up a bunch of slop. Just one point. How about this? If you want to do a conversation, try one thing. One thing. A single thing that Donald Trump is better than Kamala. It's just a single thing, and we can talk about that. We'll just do that. Because all you're doing right now is you're spitting out propaganda. You heard things on the Joe Rogan podcast, and you're telling other people the same thing because you think it counts as research. It doesn't. Read a single Wikipedia article about anything that you're talking about, and then come back to me. Because you haven't done any research. Research is not going to the farthest right-wing news source ever and citing it as an article. That's not research, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. As somebody who has spent his entire college career, 4 years of his fucking life, learning how to do research and doing effective research. Yes, please, Emmy. I don't want to. I'm angry. I'm mad. I don't want to be mad anymore. I want to love. Actually, Fox News, Joe Rogan. See, Fox News is actually a trustworthy news source. Believe it or not, I don't hate Fox News. I think Fox News is great. I would never cite it in a paper, but I think Fox News is great if you want to get facts on the issues. Now, if you go to Fox News for the fucking biased commentary that they have on their fucking stupid news program, Tucker Carlson wannabe. No, I can be whatever. I will yap about anything. As long as it's not like, hey, sheep. What's something? Hold on. What's an example? Hey, sheep. Can you yap about your social security number and how you do your taxes? And I want specific details. Can you yap about your family? I want explicit details about your family and all their habits. Maybe not that. I don't believe in party loyalty. Yeah, you're just lying. You're lying, unfortunately. Yeah. See, the problem is you're lying and you don't even know you're lying. Because people who say that are very, very right wing, and they just don't know it. They have no idea because they haven't done any research. They hate everything establishment, and Donald Trump looks like the least establishment thing. So clearly they'll vote for it, right? What's your opinion on trans people? I have the ultimate trans trump card. You can't actually call me transphobic. That's the best part about being Sheepo3. You can't call me transphobic. It's actually impossible. You know why? Because my brother is trans. And I love my brother. And my brother loves me. I can call my brother right now and say, hi, do you love me? And they'll be like, maybe. See, you can't win. You can call me racist. You can call me sexist. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. But you can't call me transphobic. I have the trump card. I can't lose. I can't lose. I win every fucking debate. Okay, but seriously, I think trans people are chill. I will say, now, if you want to be serious about some shit I think about trans people, I think, first of all, I think that trans surgery is probably just a healthcare surgery at some point. Because, like, what are the suicide rates of, like, trans people? It's like fucking like 50% off themselves. If you're gonna give a surgery to trans people gender affirming care, that's the word I should be using. I totally blanked. Gender affirming care. Gender affirming care, it's probably just like healthcare surgery at that point. Because if you're gonna if this is a surgery that's gonna make you feel more like who you are, and it's gonna make you less likely to kill yourself, then that is probably just objectively healthcare. It's something that you need to save people. He was once good. No, you don't know anything, unfortunately. Maybe figure out why they hate Trudeau, Priscills. I'm not interested in talking to you, okay? Because you don't have any, because you haven't done any research. If you had done research, you would have given me one point that wasn't propaganda. Give me one serious talking point, one serious opinion that you had, but you don't have any opinions. You just like Trump. That's all you do. And that's fine. That's okay. You're not going to know anything because thank God you're not old enough to vote. And if you are old enough to vote, then I feel sorry for America that I have to live in the fucking, I hate Trump. No, clearly you don't. Clearly you either hate women, or you hate America, or you hate just like anything good about anything, because or you just hate thinking. I guess Donald Trump is like the funny orange man ultimately. I guess funny orange man wins because he sounds better on podcasts or whatever. And that's the ultimate criteria, right? You know, if he sounds better on like whatever fucking Joe Rogan experience that you watch, it does better for you. I don't care. Like you have nothing, unfortunately, Pro Skills. I'm sure that you're a great guy in person. I'm sure we would get along in person, but you have nothing of value to add to any conversation involving politics. Okay? And I am being a dick here, and I am being an asshole, and I am being very overcombative, and I'm doing it for a reason. Okay? It's because Donald Trump is legitimately fucking up the country that I love, and I'm very, very mad about it. I don't show it a lot, but I'm very fucking furious about it. Because I love America. I love America so fucking much. I love this country. I never want to leave here. I never want to live in Europe. I don't want to live in fucking Europe or Sweden or any of those stupid fucking countries. I don't want to live in Russia or Africa or fucking China, or I'm not a fucking Japanaboo. I love being American. I love being American. I love America. I love this country so much. And it's so frustrating to me to see people like Donald Trump who do not care about America, who actively hate America, being elected. Donald Trump hates America. He hates America. He doesn't care about America. He uses America as his punching bag, as his sex toy. All right, so he can cum dump inside of it and then leave. All right, Donald Trump is using us as a cum rag. Okay, this is not consensual. There's only one person getting pleasure from this exchange, and it's Donald Trump's ego.
I just got the whole thing.
The person I voted for. No, you don't. You don't care about. No, you don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't care. Pro Skills, you don't care. You don't care about anything because you didn't do any research. You didn't do any research. You listened to Donald Trump and you said, I like the way he sounds better than I like Kamala. You didn't do any research. You don't care. You don't care. If he wanted to leave, he fucking tried to steal our democracy. Do you want me to bring up fake electors? Slates of fake electors. There are slates that Donald Trump signed. He tried to make Mike Pence sign in fake slates of electors. Fake, fraudulent, lies. He tried to use those so then Joe Biden would not be inaugurated as the president. He did that. He tried to steal our democracy. Does that mean anything to you? Do you care? Do you care about this country that you so claim to care about? Whenever you cast your vote that you claim that you care about, do you care? You don't. Tell me something Kamala promised. Kamala promised that she would give home buyers tax credit, okay? If you were trying to buy a home, if you were a first-time home buyer, she would give you money in the form of reduced taxes to help you. That's something that Kamala promised. That's an actual policy. That's an actual policy with numbers. Okay, you can look it up. There are actual numbers behind that policy. Name a single thing that Donald Trump promised. Name a single thing that wasn't a statement or a vague generality or a broad idea. What was it? Name me a single thing. You can't, because Donald Trump didn't do any of that. He said, I'm going to build a wall. He said, I'm going to stop these illegals. I'm going to deport them all. He said, I'm going to stop all the wars. He said, I'm going to drill, drill, drill. You love that one. Drill, drill, drill. That one's great, huh? That's all he said. He didn't give a single policy with numbers. Not a single one. Because he didn't need to. Because people like you would eat it up. Cut unnecessary. Name how? By cutting back on military spending? What's the bill? What's the policy? What's the promise? What's the number? How much was it going to reduce it by? By lowering all citizens' taxes? But how? By how much? Yeah, and Kamala Harris said she was going to raise taxes on the rich. I'm not going to take that as a fucking policy because I'm not a dumbass. It's not a policy. I'm crying. I'm crying, Pro Skills. It's not a policy. A single policy, an actual law, a thing that she wanted to do, or he wanted to do. A bill that he would pass, anything, not a vague generality, not an idea. That's not a thing. 1.2 billion? What's the source? You have no source because he didn't say it. Because he didn't. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm not talking about this anymore. Sorry, I wanted to talk about trans people, and you're baiting me again. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. You're done. I'm finished. I'm not going to respond to you. Okay? Hi. Sorry, I was talking about trans people and how much I love them. Start HRT on 16? I don't know. Hello, Mibbers. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Okay. This is weird. No, it would be lower taxes for everybody, including the rich. The lower tax, no, it would be like 2% lower taxes for fucking poor people and like 10% lower taxes for the rich. That's how his last tax bill worked. Shout out to Ronald Reagan. Trickle-down economics still lives. Okay. So yeah. I don't know how I feel about the HRT thing under 16 because I worry about the influence that the internet has on people. I think kids are, I as an old person, I think kids are stupid. I know, like at 16, not below 16, but even still, I think kids are dumb. And I think maybe that's just a position of me being old, but I start to worry that if we're starting like HRT really, really young, I worry that kids make really bad decisions and they're going to end up fucking up their bodies for no reason because, you know, they got baited into some internet board to thinking that they were trans. Okay, I don't know if I should let that message for your sake, Pro Skills. Okay, fine. I'll let it through. There you go. Read it and weep. The most indifferent message. Truly the epic fence sitter position is reversible. Yeah, I guess. I wish I had more like research. I wish I had more medical research on that topic before I made like an explicit opinion on how I feel about it. But ultimately, here's the ultimate secret. It actually doesn't matter what I think. It should be a decision between a patient, a doctor, and their parents. Those are the only three parties that should have any say in that, ultimately. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. It's generally whatever the doctor thinks is best for that particular case. I don't have an opinion. What does love mean in this context? Love means I like them to exist and I want them to thrive. Is that love? You are so slow. Thank you. I'm very slow. I try very hard. So yeah, ultimately it doesn't matter. I think people trying to kind of lock off gender affirming care is kind of barbaric. I think that ends badly most of the time. And I think trying to lock certain surgeries at a certain point without having, you know, generally it should just be doctors. Thank God that doctors have a pretty strict and rigid code of ethics. I trust doctors more than I do the government. So it just comes down to that. I generally trust medical individuals that are trained more than I trust the government. What else? I think what I worry about is I worry that there are a bunch of people who simp super hard for trans people who are kind of fucking up the perception of the trans community. Okay? That's what that's the problem. Not get backlash? No, the problem with fence sitting is that you get rocks thrown at you from both sides. That's the secret of fence sitting. And you never win if you're a fence sitter. Okay. I think the big problem is that like a lot of people will like especially one thing that I think is like super dumb is the whole like trans sports debate. Okay. I think a lot of people go super hard on like trans people should be allowed in sports, and they don't consider that like a lot of people really dislike that position, and it kind of fucks up the perception of trans people. Okay. Like, why do we have to go super hard on that? Like, can't we just can't we get like universal acceptance towards trans people? Everybody like generally not hate them, and then we can go super hard on like trans sports thing. You know about fence sitting? Oh, I don't know shit about fence sitting, J-Dog. Ask me, bitch. Try me. But what I actually think about trans sports, I don't know. It's hard. I think it's just a sucky situation where it feels like the way that we have sports set up right now is that we have these kind of two categories of men and women. And these are the two categories that people compete in because it's the best way that we found to kind of divide people up. And I feel like when you start allowing trans women into women's sports, it feels like they have an undeniable advantage over biological women just for the sake of them being trans. And it feels like it's not fair. That's what I think. I think bathrooms are less of an issue. Go to whatever the fucking bathroom you want. If you're so uncomfortable with people going to your fucking bathroom, then fucking, I don't know, grow some balls. I don't really care about bathrooms. I think bathrooms are like the biggest non-issue in the world. I think it's super fear-mongering. I think the only like valid counterpoint is that like, oh, pedophiles are going to use this to watch children or something, which is not. That is just not. They were going to do that shit anyway, okay? I think that it's very, very bait. I think the whole bathrooms debate is just very, very bait. Exactly, yeah. But it's just the fucking talking points, right? So I think that bathroom, like if you're I'm not super concerned if people come in and need a shit in my toilet. It's not my toilet. It's a public bathroom. Do whatever you want. And if you want, just go to like one of those stalls, like those single room stalls. We have those at work. Just go to one of those like single room stalls. Just use those. That's fine. Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't feel like it just feels like a super non-issue. I think the sports thing is like a bigger problem because it does feel like a pretty significant intrusion on like women's spaces, which are already kind of like rough as is. I think that the trans sports thing, it's like if you start letting trans people into sports, it feels like they have an advantage that was gained unfairly, and it feels like you kind of just fuck other women out of sports. I think that if trans people want to play in high school sports, I think that's fine. If they want to play in recreational leagues, I don't care. But I think the moment that you start reaching like the collegiate level or the professional level, that's when people actually have a chance of making real money. And the problem is that if you let like, even let like one trans person in that isn't very good, you're denying that spot for a cis woman, and you're kind of fucking her chances, right? And she didn't have like a biological advantage conferred to her by just existing. So unfortunately, it feels like AMAB people. I will try. Biological women. I don't know. It's a hard word, but generally, it just feels like you're gonna end up making a bunch of people angry, not totally unjustifiably, and you're also gonna end up kind of blurring the lines between what is female sports and what is male sports. in an uncomfortable way that kind of leads to a lot of women feeling like their spaces are being invaded or they're being destroyed. And I think that is a fair concern. And I think that generally it should just be that, like, unfortunately, like everybody has some shit. And unfortunately, being trans is just like, it kind of just precludes you from being able to play in professional sports. It's just like, you know, like there are other things that, you know, preclude you from playing in professional sports. If you're disabled, if you don't have a leg, if you're only born with one leg, you kind of can't really play basketball. No basketball team wants a guy with one arm, unfortunately. And I think it's just kind of an unfortunate state of the world. I wish there was a better way that we could categorize our sports so then everybody could be included theoretically, but I don't know if there is. And if there is one, it hasn't been presented to me. So yeah, that's the ultimate thing. That's the thought process behind the trans sports debate between trans people and AMAB people. I think it's an unfortunate reality of the world. Ultimately, though, I would rather confer to people who have probably done more research about how the transition process affects people. I'm probably not the best person to give strong opinions on this because I haven't done any of the medical research. I haven't read the science. I haven't read the literature. But I'm sure if I did, I have a feeling that I would kind of end up confirming my own biases. So yeah. There you go. That is the Sheepo3 take on trans persons in sports. It didn't. Oh yeah, no, she wasn't trans. I think the whole thing was that she just wasn't trans. It was bait because people were mad or something. I don't know. I think it was like, it was either rage bait or like she looked too much like a guy or something. I don't know. She wasn't hot enough to be a woman, so clearly she must have not been a woman. Something like that. I don't know. Or was there something else? Maybe she was like intersex. I don't know. I remember reading about it, and I remember reading that it's like it was totally bait, and it didn't matter. And then the other woman that fucking like took one hit and then dropped down to the ground was a little bitch. Fuck that woman. She was a little bitch. She had higher T levels. Yeah, I did remember reading one situation where like a woman had such high T levels they were like, you can't play. Like her testosterone was through the fucking roof, and she was like biologically a woman. Everything she just had like insane T levels, just like some kind of like anomaly or mutation or something. She just jacked up her T levels. I don't know what that was about. I think she just got mega fucked. Unfortunately, she was just too like she just had roids built into her body. And unfortunately, people were like, yeah, you know. It was kind of like the equivalent of somebody just like having constant like adrenaline, right? Somebody was just constantly getting pumped with adrenaline and they were just overpowered as fuck. Like generally, I don't think I'd want that person playing sports. If they were constantly on adrenaline does crazy things to the body, okay? Adrenaline is actually fucking insane. It is the most insane drug of all time. So if somebody could theoretically just exist under the influences of fucking adrenaline all the time, they would be insane. Yeah. Those who know. But I know. I trained as a lifeguard, okay? They warned you, okay? If people are drowning, they are so jacked full of adrenaline, they will kill you. There have been cases of like 10-year-olds drowning fucking 22-year-olds. Like me. I could theoretically die to a 10-year-old who was jacked up on adrenaline. That's how strong people get. That's how strong these motherfuckers get. Like there are cases of like people just lifting cars. People just do that under fucking adrenaline. When they get jacked up like that, they will just lift a fucking car. Like, no problem. And then they'll come back to normal like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know what came over me. It's like that. It's a very, very crazy, scary thing that happens. But yeah, basically shout out to adrenaline and shout out to when a bear sees a car. Yeah, basically, yeah. Just throw the car at the bear at that point. You just become Superman. When I pull up to the club. I need to get some water because I'm a thirsty boy, and I yelled too much today. I was too angry, and I need water. I'm so hungry. Can I talk about me being hungry? Let's talk about it. The problem with trying to lose weight is that you just kind of have to eat less. And the problem with eating less is that your stomach isn't accustomed to eating less. And so it gets mad at you. Your stomach gets mad at you. You're like, why the fuck am I not getting enough food? And so it starts to get all hungry and rumbly. And now my stomach is mad at me because it thinks I'm not eating enough. When I am eating enough, it's just accustomed to eating more. So now I have to wait for like 2 weeks of just being like constantly hungry all the time. And it's going to suck until my stomach finally gets the message, hey, we're not going to get enough food anymore. So it stops fucking me. Sports still? My speech, but I have to do in college. I yapped a ton. I don't really yap that much here. I think that's fair. I think it's a fine opinion. I don't have any beef with that opinion. I might disagree, but I calmly and respectfully disagree, as opposed to angrily and aggressively disagree, as I did with the whole Trump guy. All right. I respectfully disagree as opposed to angrily disagree. Non-binary people. Non-binary people? I was under the impression that there were 3 genders. Man, woman, and not wanting to be gender. Oh yeah, some guy was in here, he said he voted for Trump. I got mad at him. You can watch, dude, I went on for that for like fucking 20 minutes. Just like rewind stream. I was going crazy, bro. I was fucking so mad. Because some guy was like, I think Trump was a better candidate than Kamala. I'm like, oh, really? Let's talk about that. let's have a discussion. And then I cussed him out and I called him a dumbass. And you know, again, angry disagreement. It wasn't a very friendly conversation. Demi boys and agender people. I don't know. Okay, I don't know about the whole fucking. Okay, I feel like the gender thing. I don't want to call it a meme, but like, I remember like back in the day, like one of the classic memes was like, "Oh, I'm an attack helicopter." And I understand that was a joke, and that was kind of a mean-hearted joke at the end of the day, but it was still a joke. But still, it feels like a lot of people are using like gender identity as a way to feel special, right? They're not actually trying to identify themselves. They're actually just trying to use it as a way to make themselves feel cool. Like, I'm in the in-group. Oh, I have this cool, I have this cool identity. Well, I thought it was funny because I was a fucking cringe 15-year-old, okay, Derpnap? I watched Leafy Was Here, and I loved him. I thought, oh my god, Leafy Was Here, what a brilliant content creator. I did think this. It was an unfortunate phase in my life. I just kind of grew up at I kind of caught the tail end of like the cringe fucking the cringe person's era, right? We're Twitch guys, of course we can't rewrite real shit. Real shit. Yeah. I think gender is a spectrum, and I worry that if we start having like too many names for like all the different points on the spectrum, I think we start to lose the plot about what gender actually should mean, right? I think that if we're gonna have the spectrum, on one side we have man, on the other side we have woman, and in the middle we have non-binary. You don't feel like having a gender. And then everything else is kind of just like, you're either in between that. I think if we start marking like these individual points between those two things, you start to kind of lose the plot a little bit. Gender's a circle? Gender is different and they want a definition that correctly suits them? I don't know. I feel like the problem is I feel like it doesn't like successfully communicate things. Because gender, okay, this is a fucking this is a deep meta-analysis of like how the words that we use. Basically, like gender communicates things about us to other people. That's the point of gender. When I say to somebody else, I'm a man, and I use he, him pronouns, I'm communicating something to that person that is deeper than just gender. It's not just I'm a man. There's a lot more things. There's a lot more unintentional assumptions that I'm communicating to that person that they can assume. Okay? When I communicate that I'm a man, there's a lot more that's actually communicated there. And a lot more ways that person will treat me because of that. All right? There's a reason why like guys tend to get more chummy with each other. Like when I'm a guy and like I hang out with other guys, I'll be like, oh, I'll act differently around guys than I will act around women, or I will act around different people. I act differently around different people based on the assumptions I have about them. Okay, we all live predicated on our assumptions. It's how we function in society, right? And so the problem is that when you start to have these kind of increasingly I don't want to say irrelevant, but unused words to describe this thing that is gender, you kind of lose the plot of what you're trying to communicate. You're not actually communicating anything, because then you have to like re-explain, and you're not like, nobody knows how to treat you. And people want to know how to treat you, or they want an assumption to know how to treat you, so then they don't like fuck with you. Because most people are nice people and they don't want to like mess up your shit, but they also want to be able to like try to make like, they want to be able to be friends with you, and it feels like you're not able to communicate something effectively with like a very obscure word for a gender that nobody really knows how to interpret, basically. I think that's the that's the actual like meta problem I have with all these like kind of new genders that we're using. It feels like we're kind of losing the plot of what gender is. We'll use the scenario that people don't know the gender. Just say man and woman or non-binary if they are. Exactly. Like that's like ultimately that is kind of like, if you like, I don't care what you do on your private time. Ultimately, everything that I'm saying right now is predicated on the fact that I don't care what the fuck you do in your private time. I don't care what you do. It's not my problem. I care about how you act. I care about how you vote. Those are the two things that I care about. If you act like a dick, I'm going to think you're a dick. If you're a dick in private, if you yell asshole into the pillow all night long, I don't care. All right. You can scream whatever slurs you want into that pillow. All right. It's not going to affect me. I don't care. But if you do it in public, then I will care. I care about how you act, and I care about how you vote. I don't care about how you think. It's a respectful disagreeing. I like that. I love that for you. All right. And I think that it's just, I think that we have a more effective society when we're able to simplify communication in a way that is just better for people. I think that a really effective way that this was done was the incorporation of the they, them pronouns into common parlance. I think they, them are fucking fantastic pronouns because they do a really good job of helping people communicate with each other when they're not sure of the gender of another person, or they don't want to offend other people by assuming the wrong gender. I think they, them is amazing. A great revelation, a great use of a word to get new meaning. I love they, them. I love they, them. I just don't know if these all these kind of new words that we have for gender are as useful. I think non-binary is useful. I think non-binary is very useful. I just don't know if if more like stuff like demisexual or like not demisexual. That's what I don't know if that even is descriptive of gender. I feel like we're kind of like I feel like we're kind of just losing the plot of what we should use gender for. Once you are with a person, not important, and people can use them if they want. Yeah, ultimately it is ultimately like, if you're in a private Discord server and you're with all your friends and everybody needs to have the very specific gender and you all want to use that and you've all agreed like this is all cool, we all want to do that, fucking go crazy, have fun. All right, I won't understand it, I won't get it, I will not understand it, and I will not get it, but I won't hate you as a person for it. Okay, I don't think you are actively harming society with this. You're still yapping? Yes, that's what we do here, J-Dog. Believe it or not. The ultimate counter to Sheepo3 is just, for fuck's sake, are we still yapping? The ultimate counter. Fine, I'll shut up now. I've lost. Nothing to do with gender? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just hear the words and I don't really know what they mean. I'm sorry. I am Sheepo3. I think like philosophically about things, not like factually about things. You expect from this stream? J-Dog just likes trolling. The thing with J-Dog is that he actually is like the person who cares most about me. I think like I've ever had like as a viewer. I think he's the person that has cared most genuinely about me as a person. But he also likes fucking around. And he likes to he likes to act indifferent. And I think I really appreciate that. So whenever J-Dog comes in here and you think he's being mean, I know he's trolling, And I'm not going to tell you why I know that he's trolling, but I'm going to just tell you, I love J-Dog. All right? He's a great person. Genuinely, I will say that he is a great person, and I enjoy having him in my streams immensely. Because I think making fun of me is funny. And I think that you should be able to make fun of me. Because if you can't make fun of me, then what the fuck is the point? Why are we here? At the end of the day, calling my fucking teeth stupid, calling my bottom lip dumb, calling my acne ugly, is that not why we are all here? At the end of the day? Is that not why we have all gathered here? Yapping is just a side product of that. Ultimately, I think making fun of me is fun. And I think we can also have productive conversation while we do it. And also make some jokes. And also generally just have a good time. This is a small stream. This is an irrelevant tiny stream. This is a tiny blip in the consciousness of all entertainment. I'm a tiny blip, a tiny particle in that system. But as long as I can create an environment where it feels like you took something away from it, you had an interesting conversation, you thought about something, you laughed about something, you felt, I took your mind away from the inevitable end of your fucking miserable existence. If I was able to distract you from that for at least 30 minutes, then I feel like I've been at least a little bit successful. Okay? Asexual, aromantic people? Sorry. I thought you said aromatic people, like the smell, and I thought you were talking about like asexual versus aromatic people. I'm like, that seems like an odd comparison. Okay, aromantic people. I think that's fine. I personally have an opinion that I think sex is a very big part of romance. I think for me, so I don't get it, but I'm not gonna knock it. Don't knock it until you try it, type shit. I just think that for a lot of people, sex is a very important part of romance. So I don't get it. I think that if I'm going to have a romantic relationship from somebody, I do have like some sexual expectations of that relationship, right? I have needs that I need fulfilled. And I feel like it is kind of the duty of the romantic partner to be able to help fulfill those needs, right? That's kind of the agreement that we've come upon like with most romantic relationships. I think if you can find other ways to satisfy each other and still be in a romantic relationship, I think that's fine. It's not my fucking relationship. Believe it or not. Sheepo3 will not judge the way that you engage with your relationships because it's not my fucking relationship. But those needs are guac. I do need guac. If my wife can't make guac for me, then what the fuck is the point of having a wife type shit? I don't even want her to cook for me. I'll cook myself. Look, I'll make the steak. I'll make everything else. I'll make everything else. You just make guacamole. And I'll be happy. All right. Goodbye, MEGD. We had a good conversation. And I feel like that was at least productive enough. We successfully had a conversation. Big. Honestly. Oh yeah, shit. I need to watch that video. Hold on. You like Chromacopia? I do. I do like that album. You feel the light inside. Do you feel that fire? Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Sorry. I can't sing, as it turns out. I love that part. I'm a sucker for good, what's the word for it? I'm a sucker for good sections like that. Stick to rapping, I think. I'm pretty good at rapping. I've come up with a bar or two that would not be defined as awful and horrific. Now that is, of course, an opinion. A strong opinion at that, but opinion nonetheless. Okay, hold on. Okay, Cobblemon. Developer walkthrough. I wrote other songs. I just haven't recorded them and released them. I have other songs. I can rap right now. I have a bunch of unreleased songs that I've written, but I have not spit yet. I could spit some bars right fucking now for you. And you've never heard them and you think, damn, that shit kind of cold. I will actually after watching this video.
I'm Vert and I make teasers and trailers as a part of the Cobblemon dev team.
Okay, let's just skip through this. Bam.
With you guys. There are some
What's happening?
slipped into the group and
Pokemon. Cobblemon.
Phil.
It's a little bit of sad boy rap. I did make a sad boy rap song. I don't think I'm gonna share that one. That one was like, dude, the sad boy rap song. That one was fucking. Ooh. Oh shit.
That is amazing.
Oh shit. What is this? That's kind of badass. I like that UI. I'm not gonna. Yeah, 24 minutes is a very long time. I'm not here to watch your entire YouTube Let's Play, my brother. Unfortunately. The sad boy rap song was tragic. Let's see. Anything else? I think Pokedex, fishing. More Pokemon models, I hope. Battles, maybe more battle animations. I'd like more battle animations. I'd fuck with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this whole thing, Derpnat. This is a little bit too much, I'd say. Oh, is this trading? I don't know if that was in there. I like trading. Why does he have so much shaders on? Okay. What rap song should I share with you? I think is the real question. I have a couple. I did release one. I released a verse. Oh, we could play the Joe Biden verse. Oh my God, we haven't done that. Oh my God, I haven't shared to you guys. I released a song recently with some homies. Okay, you aren't aware of this. You aren't there. Oh my God. I released a song recently, and you guys weren't aware of it. It's under the name Testicle Rogers, my friends. It's certainly a name, one of the names of all time. But my homies, we made a song together. I wonder if they've released it on SoundCloud. If not, I'll have to play it through my phone because I'm not logged into my Spotify. Okay, I have not. They have not. All right, you're just gonna have to listen through it through Spotify. Okay, it's called Badussy. The point of the song that they